the Knicks are second in the league in pace. So that means they slow the ball down. It makes a lot of sense with Brunson. They dribble a lot. They swing the ball around a lot. Now they're second in the league in pace. But in the team leaders of pace is the Miami Heat. Well, the slowest pace is in the league. Slowest pace teams in the league are the Miami Heat, the New York Knicks, Orlando Magic, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Clippers. So out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams, we're talking about Clippers, Timberwolves, Nuggets, Knicks, basically best teams in the league.
Best, yeah.
That's in the month of January. So if I
Wow.
do all the entire season,
Wow. Great work.
you
Wow.
have Bulls, Nuggets, Heat, Knicks, Timberwolves, Clippers again. So that was the pace and also the defensive rating throughout the year. It's Timberwolves, Cavs, Thunder, Celtics, Magic, and then Knicks. Knicks is 6 for the whole season.
Wow.
Net rating is I think 1 right now, but the month of January I think they led the league. So they led the league in terms of best defense versus and offense. Yeah, the best net rating in January is the New York Knicks, 15.8. Right, but behind them is Cleveland. I've been trying to watch the Cleveland Cavaliers games. I don't have a real identity on them yet, besides Mitchell going crazy and Jared Allen actually stepping up. But the highest defensive ratings in the league is Knicks, Cavaliers, Timberwolves, Grizzlies, Celtics. Then you have the Thunder, Magic. They run
Well,
the
well,
top
well.
7.
Let's not forget teams like Cleveland and certain other teams. They, guys like Donovan Mitchell. Big shout out to him, great player. But those guys are great regular season guys. Even him in Utah, even last year with Cleveland, great regular season. Get to the playoffs, flame out. So for me, I'm not worried about Cleveland at all because they do what they've been doing. Got a good roster. I mean, you're going to play great in the regular season. You're going to have a decent record. You're going to have a good seed, and you're going to get in and get your boots smoked. That's just what it is. He did the same thing in Utah. So for me, I'm not even worried about them.
Right, but you still have the Nuggets in that fold that we just,
Yeah.
in terms of pace and in terms of defensive rating in January. And I know the month of January could be up and down. I get it. It could be up and down for teams or whatever the case may be. But when you dominate the way that they have been, the media, I'm talking about I love Ryan Russillo. I love Zach Lowe. Zach Lowe was like damn near jumped through the camera. Like these are real stat nerds going, okay, what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling, the numbers match it. Like that's why they're going so crazy. Also, you get the late bandwagon ticket fee, but at the same time, it's matching what we've been seeing, what we've been feeling. Because we're more eye test dudes. I like playing with the stats and everything, but some guys go too far. I love defensive rating and I love pace. Pace to me, it showed you right there. Out of the top 7 slowest teams in the league, we're talking about the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
So that means everybody else, the Pacers, all these other guys, yeah, you guys are running up and down the court because you can't play defense.
Good point.
That's what that's telling me. So the Celtics, they have personnel for both, but who's the guy when it's crunch time to slow it down and get you that bucket when it matters most? We got Brunson there, and that's our biggest concern.
But
against
also,
the Lakers, against anybody,
like you said, with that pace and running up and down no defense, what do they start playing in the playoffs? Defense. The game slows down. So if you think you're going to be running up and down in the playoffs in a 7-game series and every game you scoring 140, you out your mind. You got to get stops.
For the season, the Wizards are the highest paced team. The top 10 teams for the season with the fastest pace in the league. The only scary team in here is the Thunder, 34-15. Everybody else, their records is, look at the Jazz, 24-26. The Mavericks without Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, and let's be straight about this. Kyrie Irving is playing scary.
Phenomenal.
What he's doing at 31 years old, way more mid-range shots underneath 17 feet, if I'm not mistaken, and just going crazy. But the problem is he missed 20 games. So they're not scary anymore. I would think that this changes if he was in the lineup and he won more games. But Oklahoma City and the Bucks are the only teams that won over 30 games in the top 10 pace, with top 10 pace in the league. Okay, but the Bucks are not scary. The Bucks defensive rating, bottom 10. Actually, they've gotten better. They're bottom 11 now.
I told you how I feel about the Bucks. I'm not really scared of the Bucks
at all. And so you have the Bucks as an outlier. Cool. So 2 out of the top 10 fastest teams in the league are scary. Now, slowest pace in the league, and this is for the season. slowest pace in the league. You have the Cavs 30 with the teams with the most with 30 or more wins in the top 10. You have the Cavs, the Clippers, Timberwolves, Knicks, Nuggets. Okay, those are the best teams in the damn league. Those are the best teams in the damn league. And the
But
reason
that
why I
look,
brought that up, is because the Lakers for the season are at 25-25, and they are the sixth fastest pace in the league. In January, the Lakers are number one pace in the league. They're 7-8. They're 7-8. Net rating is minus 3.1. That to me is like it stands out the most. When I was revisiting it, because any team that's playing that fast, you're trying to cover up from your defense. You're trying to make up for the fact that you don't have a defense. How the hell can they play that fast with Anthony Davis and LeBron there? I don't understand. Like, what the hell? I don't understand. They don't have an identity, and you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis there. That's the part that's driving me crazy right now about them. Well, not me, but
I'd be interested to look at that and see what they look like in terms of a rebounding team, because if they're a great defensive rebounding team, that means they're cleaning the glass and getting out in transition and trying to get all their baskets in transition, which they are better at when they are in the half court set and they're not getting the ball to Anthony Davis. If it just looks clunky, right? It's isolation, Austin Reeves. It's maybe try to find Vanderbilt or slash Torian Prince slash Reddish in a corner, maybe, and maybe they'll hit the corner. Like, it looks very, very, and LeBron getting downhill trying to take advantage of pick and rolls and different matchups. So it looks very clunky. I couldn't tell you what they're really running there in terms of their offense. So they have to get up and down and get points and transitions and secondary break and all of that. In terms of what you were saying with those other teams that have better records and just better teams, including the Knicks being one of them, that just goes to show you that, when it does come playoff time and we do have to get into half court sets, because it is not a myth that playoff basketball does slow down. You do not get those transition baskets. You don't get a lot of fast break points. You don't get a lot of secondary baskets. You have to be able to get into your sets, call a play, and go get a bucket. You know what I'm saying? Or find a matchup that is a mismatch and try to exploit that. So when teams don't have the ability to do that, they'll get swept. They'll lose in 5. They won't. They'll be a first round knockout. But the teams that are able to execute in the half court set in playoff basketball are the ones that usually advance in the playoffs. So if you showing that stat, that's why I said when you did bring it up earlier, I thought it was a beautiful breakdown, because that lets the people know that we're not just jumping off the roof as Knicks fans. Like, this is tangible stuff. Okay, you don't believe us? Okay, here's something that you can, hold on to and take with you. Hey, this is where we're at in the mix of other teams that have expectations of winning championships. You said Denver was in that mix, right? You said the Clippers were in that mix, right? Like, there's some teams that have championship aspirations. So if we're in that mix, I like that.
So, and then to go to the rebounding point that you made, which was that's a part of defense and nobody really wants to talk about it. For the season, the Lakers are bottom 10 in defensive rebounding percentage. Bottom 10, coupled with the fact that they're up there in pace for the season. And in January, of course the best team is the Knicks in rebounding percentage, and the Lakers are bottom 11, so just about where they've been all season. But the Knicks being the number one rebounding team percentage wise, Cleveland's right behind us, which is, I'm watching their games. I still don't see an identity with them, but we got to watch them because I don't want to get snuck up on either.
I told you, if you looked at them, at the advanced stats for defense, I'm sure Cleveland is in the mix somewhere in terms of being one of the better defensive teams in the league. So they're going to make their staple on that and, ride Donovan Mitchell. So
right, and they're at 99 in pace, so they're like middle of the pack pace. But with the Knicks, again, it's an identity. Like, we know our identity. in January. They're honing in on it. We know we need our players to go and make up for what we need, because offensively we need that other one-on-one guy solidified, which is the DeJounte Murray trades and the Brogdon. That's what we want, is Brogdon, because he can play the 1 and the 2, and then we need somebody to go play with the second unit and do the same thing, hold it down for us as far as being like a point guard and a general on the court. But these stats are proving what we see. Because sometimes I watch the Knicks and I'm like, how the hell are we this good defensively? Right? Like, okay, we get OG. That makes such a big difference. It's the rotation, the way that they dart to the paint, pack the paint, and are able to just rotate. Like Brunson goes to the paint and then darts back to his spot, and they rotate with the cutters. And all right, this guy's covering, DiVincenzo's covering for me. The communication's probably gonna be easier because you guys knew each other for damn near 10 years now minimum. All that stuff matters. And then just again having a personnel, which is a defensive personnel. OG Anunoby changes super, damn near superstar. If what we see is correct in the last month, he's like Gobert, him, Anthony Davis. These are like the guys in the conversation with Defensive Player of the Year. Even with McDaniels there, we don't have a Gobert. Imagine if he had a Gobert next to him and Anunoby, Anthony Davis type next to him.
Which is a healthy Mitchell Robinson, right? Which is a healthy Mitchell Robinson. You know, we don't even know. Again, Knicks fans out there in the comments, you know, everybody that's supporting the Knicks right now, we don't even have a fully healthy team. And, you know, we have this next man up mentality right now. Everybody's pulling together to continue to play great basketball. But when we do get fully healthy, that just lets you know how deep of a basketball team we are. How the point you're making about defense, like, it's a lot of those Tibbs principles. It's just a lot of team defense. We don't have a plethora of guys that just play great one-on-one defense. We have one guy that is extremely good one-on-one defense and team. OG is outstanding, right? And then we have a lot of other guys that give extreme effort on the defensive end, and that's what you need. When you got guys that want to buy in on playing defense, that's great. There's a lot of teams that don't have that, just the personnel wise. It's not even, you know, can the guy do it or not? This guy's just not capable to do it because he just doesn't have the effort and doesn't put forth the effort. I don't care what you say about Quentin Grimes. He put forth effort on the defensive end. I don't care what you say about who DiVincenzo, White Dante, they call him. He puts forth effort on defense, bro. Like, these guys care about. I look at how Deuce McBride comes in and really like fights over screens. He does it. They used to say this back in the day. The coaches used to tell me back in the day, don't let yourself get screened. Like, you know a screen is coming. Don't let yourself get screened. Fight over the screen. Go under. Be quick. Be quick in that position when a screen is coming left, right, from behind, wherever. Be quick. Be reactive so that you know where you are. I watch our Knicks, especially our perimeter defenders. We react really, really well when there's a lot of different action thrown at us. So we buy into what we keep doing, and we get another guy that's going to buy into continuing to play defense, like a Brogdon or like a DeJounte Murray, you know, whatever. If as long as it's guys that, okay, they'll add something offensively, but if they're guys that fully buy in defensively, yes, I want them on my team.